Au revoir, Anthony Martial. Manchester United will not extend the contract of Anthony Martial. Eric Ten Hag makes a major positive decision. Does this one get him any sympathizers? I mean, you all have been calling for his immediate sacking since that shameful loss to Bournemouth at Old Trafford. But here is how he responds. What a guy. Well, Man United, like I keep saying, we are a gift that doesn't stop giving. Well, this is exactly what you people have been pushing for. He is the laziest player clearly at the club. He has to be leaving. But what exactly is the story? Well, it comes out today that Man United has agreed that they're not going to trigger the 1 year contract extension for Anthony Martial. His contract should run out at the end of the summer next year, 30th of June next year. That's when the contract will be running out, 2024. So United are saying they have an option of extending it by a further 1 year. They are not willing to trigger that option. The idea for them now is to try and sell him in January, maybe a transfer window too late, maybe. Well, we had put him on sale last time as well. We wanted about 25 million or 30 for him. We didn't get any, not even from Saudi. So you can imagine right now, maybe he has been looking a little better because he had returned on the pitch and scored against Everton. So his value probably could be slightly above, maybe 20, close around maybe the same amount, 20, 15, or even 10, to be honest. We wouldn't care how much, even if they took him for free. We don't care. All we want is Anthony Martial out of Manchester United. And that's exactly what the bosses at the club do think as well. Could it be Paul Mitchell and Jean-Claude Blow working behind the scenes even before the pronouncement that Sergeant Ratcliffe is officially in charge? Who knows, but who cares? This is the news we do want to hear. But what would it mean? Does it mean now that it's clear that Manchester United do want a striker at the earliest, and that's in Jan? Hmm? I'll answer that. Stick around. And who could it be if they do? But moving on. So, Martial, £25,000 per week. He has scored 63 goals since 2015 when he joined under Louis van Gaal. Some of you perhaps where were you in 2015? You must have been a kid. I mean, some of you. You don't even remember where you are when Louis van Gaal was manager. That's when this boy came. Lots of potential. People likened him to Thierry Henry, a Thierry Henry in the making. But he had only the talent of Thierry, but never the character. That's why he has struggled. We loaned him out last year in 2022 to Sevilla, even at Sevilla on loan in Spain. Imagine he wasn't commanding a start at Sevilla. So you can imagine how poor this boy has been. But somehow, like United always does, we've been keeping him there and paying him £250,000 per week, pampering him around, just like we did Phil Jones. That's how, just like we I think did Chris Smalling, most of these young players. And it's funny that we do this to these players who are not even that good, but we banish Mason Greenwood, our best talent, just because of nothing, and he's there in Getafe struggling, and Getafe wants him anyway. Let's go back to Martial. So Martial is no more. So who exactly should we now be expecting to join him? Because I mean, they say when the broom sweeps, it cannot sweep in bits. It sweeps at once. So we are cleaning. Man United cleanup. A massive cleanup is looking, because this is again the news. It's not just Martial. It is said that Man United is going to be putting up Rafael Varane on sale as well. His contract as well ends on the same day, 30th of June next year. So Man United are going to put him up on sale. Rafael Varane, Casemiro as well, together with Jadon Sancho. Is this a surprise? This is exactly what I was saying. Guys, go back in these videos and see this. I've told you that Kobe Maino is the youngster who is going to send Casemiro to Saudi Arabia in Jan. I told you this way back. You're beginning to see it. It's happening. Man United is working. So you see that there is a cleanup. And by the way, if there is going to be this serious overhaul of the squad, then Eric Ten Hag should have the full backing of everyone. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of young players that are just that Eric Ten Hag is giving opportunities. So these are like his players. Because remember, United was built on young players. Sir Alex Ferguson built United on young players, not on buying and buying. He built United on young players when he came in, the class of 92. The David Beckhams, Gary Neville's, the Phil Neville's, name them. Those young Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, That's how you build an institution. You don't buy. So that is what Man United is trying to clean. So the young players are going to keep coming. The Amads of this world, the Pelistris of this world, the Alejandro Ganachos of this world, the Kobe Mainos. Now you see how what we are building, and they are good. We see the talent. Now the Greenwoods of this world. At the right time, Greenwood will return. I expect. I know they see it. I don't expect Sergeant Ratcliffe to make that mistake. So Man United is cleaning up, and this is now Eric Ten Hag. For me, if Man United is going to do that, I back Eric Ten Hag fully. If we are going to stick to these players that are around, and we think that we are going to stick to them, then Eric Ten Hag cannot be the manager for them because he has lost it. But if there is a plan to let go Varane, this is the so-called senior players. Luke Shaw is good, but he has he's ripe. He has the character. In fact, many would have expected that if he were around fit, Eric Ten Hag should have made him the captain, not Bruno. But he was injured at that time, and not so many of you would think about him because we didn't know how he's going. But look, sure, one of the mistakes Eric Ten Hag has done is making Bruno the captain. Clearly, we've spoken about that here several times. So Luke Shaw could have been the right captain, so he can stay around. But there is a need for a cleanup of Man United, and it looks like it's happening. You love to see it. But with now Anthony Martial gone, and nothing is about to change, regardless of how much he leaves for. Uh, I ask you then, what does it mean? Do we bring in a new striker? Clearly, since we are thinking long term now, Eric Ten Hag would definitely now try to go for a new striker in January. So expect this is one of the few signings I should expect to happen in January. United should sign a new striker. Clearly, now that need has been made evident. We still have time with Amrabat. So Amrabat will buy us time until the summer. So we may not sign a holding midfielder. He's looking good, like he's improving. And Kobe Maino will be there. Yeah. So the cleanup looks okay. So in January, I expect a striker. Right now, there is a need for a striker. If we sell the other players, for example, Casemiro can get us a decent 30 or 35 million pounds, or 40 probably. We bought him for 60. He can give us that from Saudi. And I'm talking about these figures, think about these crazy markets, Saudi and Qatar, because that's where these players should go. Forget about the talk that Bayern wants Varane to do what? I don't think so. No club in Europe would want to take Varane seeing what he has been going through at United. So if we get a decent, maybe 35 or 40 from Casemiro, maybe get 25 or 20 for Varane, then that's about 60, then maybe 10 for Martial, 70 million. Then Jadon Sancho. For Sancho, we can get some decent money, maybe 50, because it's not about him not being able to play football, it's the attitude. So clubs that don't care about that could take him. But so maybe 50, 45 or 50. So that's about just over 100 million for us. That's decent money to start from for Sergeant Ratcliffe now, because with that money, you're not going to sign so many players. So you're going to sign a striker. But that money can just be enough for us to solve the problems. Then we concentrate on the young players to build Manchester United. For me, it's a good thing. It's happening. And in this, I back. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. Anthony Swagman Martial. Man, you.